Congressman Paul, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So you've taken off in Iowa now. You're now tied for second or in second place, a little bit ahead of Mitt Romney. What's going on out there?
Well, looks like a lot of votes are coming our way, and we've been working hard out there. You know, we spent a lot of money. I've spent a lot of time out there. And the country's a different place than from 4 years ago, because it's easy to compare what I'm doing now to 4 years ago. But economically, the conditions are different, and people have changed their minds about all that war activity overseas, and they're agreeing now that we should come home, not only because the wars are prolonged, but because it's costing us a lot of money and it's related to the problems that we're having here at home economically.
You've watched just about everybody else have a chance to be the guy that takes on Mitt Romney. I mean, are you about to? I mean, can you be the next to surge?
Well, I want steady, solid growth. Surges mean sometimes you can drop off rather quickly. You know what, we've had 3 or 4 that have surged up and then they dropped off. And I don't think that's likely to happen in my case. But I think we can keep going because we're accelerating. You know, steady growth. And in this last month, we've gone from low double digits to high double digits. So I think our campaign is coming together quite well right now, but I don't suspect all of a sudden we're going to surge 20 points and then drop off 30. I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, so you clearly know Newt Gingrich well. I mean, you served in Congress with Gingrich going back to the 1980s. So what's your sense of this guy? Is he the kind of person that could be president of the United States? Does he have the leadership qualities to be a good president?
He has qualities where he can devise some strategies, but sometimes when those strategies come to fruition, he falls short on leadership. That's more or less what happened. You know, I don't think anybody can deny giving him some credit for what happened in 1994. You know, he had a strategy, and Republicans finally took over the House after 40 years. But then things for him went downhill, you know, and when he had to leave, it wasn't under the best of circumstances.
And what's your sense? I mean, you've been really critical of him as a flip-flopper, basically, saying he's a guy who hasn't been consistent. He's not usually the candidate that most people think of when you bring up the issue of flip-flopping. What is it about Gingrich?
Well, he's been on a lot of different sides on all the issues, and actually that little ad that we did, which was a video, you know, for the internet, right. It was mainly using other people, you know, assessment of what he has done. You know, either working with Pelosi on global warming or his position on medical care and these different things. So he's had definitely different positions on many of these policies.
What does that say about him?
It means that he might be the opposite of what I've been doing for 30 years. So my positions haven't changed all that much.
I guess nobody's really attacked you as a flip-flopper at this point.
So far.
Mr. Consistent.
So far, so good.
Okay, so the ultimate question here, who is a bigger flip-flopper, Mitt Romney or Newt Gingrich?
Well, you know, I get questions like that all the time.
Come on, give us an answer.
No, they ask me about the different, what do you think about the other candidate? I put them all into one category. So it's pretty easy on the flip-flopping. You could put Newt and Mitt together.
So you think there's not much of a difference between Romney and Gingrich?
Philosophically, probably not. I don't think so. I mean, where would the difference be on foreign policy? They're both very, very aggressive on what they would do overseas, and they're not ready to really change monetary policy. And you know, I doubt if either one of them would say that we have to get rid of the Department of Education. You know, a few things like that.
Which one then has been more consistent? I mean, it's another way of asking. You're a
well, they're both very consistently inconsistent.
Both Gingrich and Romney.
Yeah, they're consistently inconsistent.
So you know the rap on Ron Paul. I mean, the rap is that you've got positions that are outside the mainstream of the Republican Party.
I've heard that.
And yes, and you probably wouldn't dispute in terms of the mainstream, the leadership of this party, whether it be on foreign policy, right. On some other issues. I mean, how do you get beyond where you've managed to get, which is in the 15%, or so? How do you get beyond that?
Well, we're doing that. You know, 6 months ago or 5 months ago, we were probably half where we are today. We were 8 and 9. Now we're 18, 19. and I think he keeps saying the same thing. And about being out of mainstream, that's a trick question because I think the country's out of the mainstream. I think the Republican Party is out of the mainstream Republican tradition because they claim they're for individual liberty and limited government and balanced budgets. What's their record? I mean, where are the balanced budgets? What have they done? I mean, we had a president and a House and a Senate for 6 years, plus 2 partially. The government kept growing at a rapid rate. So I would say that, being for balanced budget and taking oath of office seriously, having a strong national defense and sound money, doesn't sound too out of the mainstream as far as I'm concerned. That sounds like what Republicans are supposed to be standing for.
And then finally, because Gingrich has said that he is more conservative. He is the true conservative compared to Mitt Romney.
Well, I guess he can say whatever he wants.
Is he going to have a hard time making that case?
Well, he may be because he may be able to make the case, but I don't think he has the evidence.
So, I mean, what do you mean by that? He doesn't have the evidence that you don't think he's truly a conservative?
Yeah, we could go back and compare all his policies and all his statements and all his votes and everything he's ever said in his career, and he's pretty much for big government. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Early on in his career, he wasn't even bashful about it. He ran on a big Republican government platform.
So Newt Gingrich is a big government advocate.
His policies have been big government.
All right. Ron Paul, thank you.
Very good. All right.